Hey everyone, time for another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist here. At the end of the day, I've already put all the cars away for the night and pretty crowded in here. So you may have noticed a new addition here, and it's not going to be here for long because I finished it up already. So let's go ahead and talk about that first, get that out of the way. So this is a bus that Rafa and his brother Octavio built many, many years ago. Really, really nice bus, as you can see. It's 71 bay window, complete restoration on this thing. Just gorgeous interior, really nice paint. But it's got some cool stuff going on here too. For example, and some of you probably seen this before, longtime followers of the channel, but there you go. It's got a big motor in it. It's a 2110, I think. Dude, this thing runs really good. This car is a total pleasure to drive. And anyway, the reason it came in was that the owner stated that he was not able to get the bus in gear. And we kind of talked about it on the phone, and my fear was that the transmission was stuck between two gears, which can happen on VW transmissions. Not like a really common thing, but when it does happen, you might have to pull the transmission apart and pull the nose cone off, and it can be a pretty big deal. Anyway, that was kind of my fear, and I prepared the owner that might be it, having not seen the bus, but just the way he described the symptoms to me. He brought the bus in today, had it towed over, and basically what it was that the shifter, those of you that are familiar with VW shifters, you know, on a lot of years of buses and bugs and so on, at the bottom of the shifter there under the floor, there's essentially like a ball on it, which is what pushes and pulls and rotates the shift rod, which is a long shaft that runs to the back of the bus. Anyway, and on a lot of years, on that ball, there's a pin that sticks forward, and it keeps the gear shift lever facing the right way. So you can see how this has like a little kink in it, for lack of a better word. And so it's got a little pin so it stays pointing that way versus, you know, pointing off that way or some other random way. So the VW shifters that are straight, that don't have a little, kink or bend in them, typically don't have that little pin because it doesn't matter, and you can literally sit there and twirl the shift lever on its own axis. But again, ones that do have a bend in them, they always have that to keep them oriented the right way. Anyway, long story short, somehow, and I'm not sure how, but this does happen occasionally, the little pin on there and the ball got out of the little cup that it sits in on the shift rod itself. I'm not sure how that happened because everything was tight. But again, it's something that I've seen before, Rafa's seen before. Not super common, but anyway, basically removed the shifter here and got the shifter seated back properly into the shift rod with a little pin in there facing the right way. Adjusted the shifter, took it for a test drive. It's all good. So yeah, this guy basically, I think I spent about 2 hours total on this bus fixing that. And then just a few other things. I aired up his tires. The bus had been sitting for a while. His rear view mirrors were kind of loose and flopping around. Checked his oil, kind of gave the engine a quick once over, stuff like that. But yeah, so luckily he got off pretty cheap, and he's going to get the bus tomorrow. So this one is just basically came in to spend the night here and get a little bit of love, but not too much, so he can get it back. By the way, I should mention that the owner has decided to actually sell this bus. They just haven't been driving it. So if anyone is looking for a really, really nice bay window bus, again, it's a 71, let me know and I can get you a hold of him, or get you in touch with him if you're serious. He doesn't really know the price yet. He's gonna have to do some research. He doesn't want to give it away, obviously, but he wants to sell it for a fair price at the same time. So he needs to kind of figure out what that is. But in the meantime, if anyone is looking for a really nice restored turnkey bay window bus. And I'll tell you guys, I've driven this thing this time, and I drove it last time we had it in. This thing drives and runs like a brand new car. Like, I mean, a new modern car. It is so smooth, and the motor and the brakes, this thing is just bitching. Super nice to drive. So again, if anyone's looking, then you could not go wrong with this bus. Anyway, so speaking of buses, Rafa continued to work on the Turquoise 64 here and got a few things knocked out. It's pretty crowded in here, so I'm not going to open any doors for risk of banging things around. But as you can see there, past the reflection, the middle seat grab rail is in there. Maybe see it better from here. Yeah, you kind of see it better from here. So he did that, and then these are aftermarket seats in this bus. These are not original seat frames. And for whatever reason, I guess let's be honest, aftermarket stuff usually doesn't fit quite as well as original Volkswagen stuff. The back seat was just kind of wonky. And when Rafa was, basically sitting in it while installing the middle seat grab bar, he said the seat felt like it was tilting all over the place, like it was just very unstable. So he actually went and added another set of the little clamps that hold them down, so that now it's more stable and more rock solid. So not something that you would really have to do with original seats, but again, aftermarket parts are often not, they just don't fit as well often. Anyway, so he did that. And what else? I can squeeze through here. Look at that. Good thing I'm a thin guy. About 6 foot tall and 155-ish pounds. So pretty thin, I guess. Anyway, so the one-eyed duck is doing its job because the wipers went on today. So again, little details like that all go into finishing up a vehicle. So the other thing he did is, you can see here again, I'm not opening the door, but you can see what you need to see. The seatbelts went in. So again, another detail that it takes to finish a car up. So yeah, I think pretty much door panels, and I think I mentioned before the owner's got some fog lights that we're going to be putting on. Tires will be here probably later this week. So yeah, this thing, hopefully, knock on wood, will be done in maybe a couple weeks or so at most. I don't know, we'll see, but yeah, getting very, very, very close. The cowlick bug got a little bit of love today. Just, again, some little details. So Mr. Jacob actually installed the inside rear view mirror and the sun visors. So got those new reproductions from Wolfsburg West. They fit really nice. They look great. So went ahead and had Jacob install those. So yeah, it's looking pretty done in here, other than the fact that I still need to install the front two seats. But yeah, interior is pretty much done in here. I do need to also install his rear speaker panel and make some little brackets so that when he tilts the seat forward, the thing doesn't like fall down there. But no big deal. I'll take care of that. I did also put on, which of course I have folded now because things are so tight in here, put on his driver's side rear view mirror, which hadn't been installed previously. And the hood for this car went over to the paint shop today. They are not going to do it for free for me. But, what am I going to do? So I'm paying them a few $100 to paint it to hopefully match the actual car, and then pay them a little bit more to color sand and buff it. So, what are you going to do? Customer's not going to pay for it. I'm paying for it. I probably should have caught it when we originally got it painted, but I didn't. So if I had at the time, many, many months ago, I would have brought it back then and insisted that they do it on their dime, but it's been a long time and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I'm paying for it. It's a few $100, At the end of the day, can't put a hood that doesn't match the car on a customer's car. So, pretty productive day around here now that I think about it. So I actually started working on the wiring for the blue buggy, and I don't remember if I mentioned yesterday or not. So apparently these later buggy bodies, which were supposedly made off the original molds, they don't have that tube that runs underneath here for the wiring. So I don't know at what point they eliminated that, but I had planned on running the wire through there, and then, it doesn't have it. So it's actually going to be run on the floor. So basically what we did was we put a hole in the Napoleon hat there, and one on this side. I don't know if you'll be able to see in the dark there. Yeah, there it is, with a grommet on each side. And then we used the grommet back here that normally the battery cable runs through, and kind of open it up. And then we put this nice kind of semi-gloss black conduit in here with all the wiring running through it. And then we're going to use some little clamps like this, which we'll paint black, and then drill and tap into the pan. So a few of those along its length here, kind of holding it like that, essentially. Keep it tucked nicely up there like that, and then in the back it runs through, and then you can see there's a mess of wires back there. So yeah, it comes out in the back of the car and then runs to the starter, the lights, the motor, all that good stuff. And then in the front, it comes up here, and these wires go various places. Some of these will actually go back through the firewall of the body here, and then we'll mount the fuse box up in here like we did on the red one. Excuse me. So about there. So yeah, I went ahead and just decided to go ahead and start wiring this one. So had to get a little bit creative here with the wire routing to make it look as clean as we like things to look. So, you know, we just didn't want to like wrap the whole thing in tape or that crinkly, I don't even know what that stuff's called, that wire conduit that has that kind of corrugated look. Just not really nice enough for this car, since it will be seen. Unless he puts floor mats in here, then it won't really be seen, but we like things to look good even if they're not seen. So that's what we did. And yeah, I think that is it for today, guys. So yeah, pretty productive day in the shop here, working on several vehicles, and got a customer's vehicle basically in and out. He's going to pick it up in the morning here. A little more headway on the cowl look, a little wiring on that guy. So yeah, pretty productive day. Some more stuff on this guy. So yeah, worked on several projects today. It was a good day. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. We will see you again tomorrow. Bye.